Have you ever been backstage at a major performance? Like sometimes you can get a backstage tour of a television show when you visit studios. When I was very young, I got the chance to visit the set of the original Star Trek series, except that I only had ever watched The Next Generation, so I tried to do the Picard style, like engage in Captain Kirk's chair. Now I looked far and wide for that picture, but I couldn't find it. There's something though about going backstage at a production that increases your appreciation for the performance. You start to see all of the things that go into making a performance great. The costumes, the makeup, the set design, and all the people that make those things happen. You start to have an idea of how great it might be. Like if you've already seen the performance, you have an idea, but then somewhere in your head, you know that there are costume changes and set changes and props that people need. But then to see it all backstage and how it all fits together can be mind-boggling. We're backstage at Stage 1 today, and Peppermint Creek Theater Company is in the middle of their performances of Beautiful, the Carole King musical. The show is running September 6 to 8, 12 to 15, and 19 to 22. We all have different levels of familiarity with Carole King. Some of you are familiar with her and you don't even know it because you've heard her songs and you didn't realize they were hers. For instance, you heard Where You Lead, and you only know it from the Gilmore Girls intro. That's me. Others are familiar with her discography and could list off a bunch of songs right now. And then others might be familiar with the story of her life, or maybe you really know this particular musical. We have different levels of familiarity with Carole King and this production. And going behind the scenes can deepen our understanding of the production. We all also have different levels of familiarity with the person who is Jesus. Some of our understanding is pretty surface level, like he was a good guy and a good teacher, and we can learn some stuff from him. Some of us have been following Jesus and studying his words for a long, long time. And then there's everything in between. Today, we're going to take some time to go behind the scenes, to look backstage, as it were, to get a better understanding of the richness of his words and the depth of his teaching. Because the good news of our scriptures, the gospel, is the effect of encountering the real God. It's the transformation that happens to us when we encounter the real Jesus. And then our preconceived notions, they're just one thing that keeps us from that transformation because we don't really know the real Jesus. Our preconceived notions make it more difficult to understand Jesus and his teachings. The things we've heard about Jesus can cloud the picture rather than clearing it up. Well, if we really want to understand who Jesus was and what he was teaching, we have to try to come with new eyes. Without new eyes, Jesus looks like the guy we've known our whole lives, who rarely rocks the boat, instead of the surprising, came out of left field guy he really was. He looks ordinary and unremarkable until we realize that he was actually very unusual. Today, we're going to go behind the scenes so that we can get a better look at this unusual Jesus. But let's pause here for a chat question. Have you ever gone backstage on a television or some kind of performance set? Turn to someone around you or put it in the chat. Take a minute and talk about it.